OV1 that we are ready to proceed. They can start broadcasting. Thank you.
Council, you may proceed. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Jallo, welcome back from this short break. Kindly turn off your microphone, please. Welcome back from this short break. I hope you have rested a bit and that you are able to proceed with your testimony.
Thank you.
Before the break, you were telling us that you were taken, after 7 p.m., you were taken to Bambadinka number 2. You also told us that at Bambadinka number 2, 2 individuals, one heavyset person you later knew to be Abdullah Bojang, and another shorter one forced you to drink your own urine. That's what you told us, correct?
Yes.
But let's go back a step behind, a step backwards, to the NIA office where you were forced tortured. You told us that at some stage you asked for water. Did they give you anything to put in your mouth whilst you were in that office where you were forced tortured?
No. I do not get any water.
But we understand you said you didn't drink any water. Did they give you anything to put in your mouth?
I did not get any water to drink at all. They refused completely.
You said while the initial torture was going on, they were also asking you questions. Did there come a time during this process when you could not speak at all?
Yes.
Could you tell us about it?
The pressure on me, the pain on me, made me to be impossible to be able to perform.
Apart from the torture implements that you mentioned, the electrocution, cables, or wires, and the fact that you were tied with strings, did they use any other means of torture on you?
Yes, they did.
Can you tell us about it?
Excuse me. They sat me on the chair and they brought blue sponge and forced the sponge into my mouth. And then a gray duck tip was brought plastered on my mouth to be for a very long time. I cannot shout, I cannot cry. I was staying in that situation for hours because it was very painful and very tight. That was what they did.
Throughout this period, did you sustain any injuries? You told us that you lost your finger, the smallest finger. But as this was going on, did you suffer any injuries on your body?
Yes, I did.
Can you describe the injuries?
They brought a knife and told me that you are going to die now. But at that point in time, to be frank with you, I wanted to die and rest. The pain was too much on me. I cannot sit, I cannot stand. Blood was coming from every part of my body. So what happened was, they brought a knife. I don't know whether I can demonstrate and show you what actually happened.
You may demonstrate without removing your clothes.
Yes,
Just
okay.
demonstrate and we would see what happens.
Okay. They put me on the concrete, my hands on the floor, and my legs at the back. They opened my legs and told me that we will show you that we mean business. We will deal with you. We don't play. They said, okay, whatever you want to do, you can do with my body, because I am helpless. They took the knife, start cutting from here. They cut from here up to this back. So blood was coming throughout.
You may be seated, please. Can you remember who were the people involved in this particular torture?
NIA officers were involved. This time, Fudebari was not there.
How about Daba Marena?
He was there. He was the mastermind. Deba was entirely responsible for all the activities of the NIA at that time. He gives orders.
How about Musa Kinte?
Musa Kinte was the boy in the room who delivered messages at the time when they were cutting my body.
How about Baba Saho?
Baba was part of them.
So as far as you can recall, amongst the 4 people who removed you from your house, it was only Fodebari who wasn't present in this particular torture when your body was being cut. Is that your testimony?
Say it again.
It was only Fodebari who was not present from the 4, the quartet that arrested you. It was only Fodebari who was not present when your body was being cut. Is that right?
The cutting of my leg.
Yes.
He was not there.
Thank you very much. About the sponge that was inserted in your mouth when you were gagged with it and duct tape placed over your mouth, do you know who was involved in that?
All the 4. All the 4.
Which 4 are you referring to?
Fudebari, Baba Saho, Tadeba Marena, and Musa Kinte.
Daba Marena, you've called him by 2 names. Daba Marena, and the last name you just said, Tadaban Marena. Are you referring to the same people, to the same person?
That's the real name for Marena. His name is Daba. That's the name we know for him.
How about Ta Daba Marena?
That's his local name at home.
Okay. But you're referring to the same person who was the NIA officer?
Yes,
the
same
person you claim was in charge of your torture?
Yes.
Okay. Do you know or do you recall how the sponge was obtained at the duct tape?
When I got to the NIA, I saw a lot of sponge, blue sponge, at a corner in the office. When I saw it, I was wondering why should these things be in this office here? On the whole, it was for a purpose.
What purpose?
Then I knew to use it to torture victims.
Okay, thank you for that answer. So you described your ordeal in this NIA office and that around 7 p.m. you were moved to Bambadinka number 2.
Yes.
Earlier on, you started giving us a description of Bambadinka number 2, and you told us that the room was very dark, it was very smelly. What else can you tell us about that room?
And very slippery because of blood. If you get to the Bambadinka, you will know where and why it is there. It is slippery with blood. Blood smells everywhere. If you get there, you are there for a reason. It's completely dark. That's why it's a special place. It's the worst place to be.
You said at that place you were forced to drink urine
Yes.
by 2 individuals.
Yes.
A tall and heavy-set guy you later knew to be Abdullah Bojang, and the other person,
Yes.
the short one.
Yes.
Apart from being made to drink your urine and to sit on the floor, what else did they do to you in that place?
I can fully remember when I was tied all around just like a football. They dragged me on the floor. This is a floor where you have pieces of bottles of metal, glass, stones on the floor. So this is the place where they will drag you throughout the exercise. So your body will be cut, every part of your body will be with blood. Number one. Number two, they took a shoe, a plastic shoe, they burnt it, and they will drip the plastic on your skin. This is why I have this. This is why I have this. This is because of the plastic burnt on my body. This is what they did.
Thank you very much. Perhaps, Mr. Chairman, the record can show that the witness has identified certain marks on his body which he claims to have obtained from burns by plastic that was dropped on him, burning plastic that was dropped on him. Do you recall?
Request granted.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Do you recall for how long you were being rolled on this floor? You said you were tied like a ball. Do you recall for how long you were being rolled on this floor?
The whole night. At a time, they will bring very, very cold water. Very cold water. And they pour it on you to remove the blood from your body. They will use that cold water to do that. That's why in that place it's very slippery. If you are walking there, you have to be extremely careful.
Were you the only person in Bambadinka number 2 at this time?
No. I found 2 more people when they brought me.
Were they male or female?
They are male.
Did you have the chance to talk to them?
I did. I spoke to one of them. I greeted him, and he told me, "Don't talk to me," in Mandinka.
Could you tell us exactly what he said in the Mandinka dialect?
I wanted to know why he was brought there. I asked him, "Why are you here?" And he told me, "I am a Mandinka."
Could you tell us exactly what he said in the Mandinka dialect? We could have it translated afterwards.
He told me, "If you are a Mandinka, this is where they bring you."
Tell us exactly how he said it using the Mandinka language, the exact words you heard him say.
I might have forgotten, but Sen says, if you are a Mandinka born, or you belong to the Mandinka tribe, this is your home. That's why they bring you, and that's why I'm here.
Did he tell you what his name was?
No. He told me, I can't proceed talking to you. The more I talk to you, I will have more trouble.
How about the other person?
He reserved himself. If you ask him questions, he wouldn't respond because he was really in pain.
Those two individuals, you said one of them was in pain. How about the first person you spoke to? Was he also in pain?
He was also in pain, but the first one was more severe because he even can't talk clearly. He refused to talk to me.
You told us that this room, Bambadinka number 2, was very dark. How were your torturers able to see you in that dark room?
Those people had a small device, very small. The moment they wanted to torture you, they will use it to locate your place in the Bambadinka. The moment you see that light, expect a whip, either on your body or on the side of your body. That's the sign that it's coming. They use it to know where you are located within the place.
How big was this Bambadinka Bambadinka number 2?
Bambadinka could be, it has two areas. The open area where they can do their torturing, and there's another hole where you are thrown. It's harder painful. It's harder pain. That place is harder. It's more painful than the surface.
Were you taken to the hole?
I was not taken to the hole because they were almost ready with me. I was helpless, useless. Blood was coming from every part of my body, my legs, everywhere. So they assumed that, well, we are ready for this man.
For how long did you remain in Bambadinka number 2?
I was there for over 11 hours because they took me there by 7 and I was there till the following day, very early in the morning.
Okay, let's talk about the amount of days, the number of days you spent at Bambadinka number 2 within the NIA premises. Do you recall how many?
I think 5 days, 5 to 6 days.
So in your testimony, we have talked about the first day you arrived. You arrived at 7 a.m. You were in the NIA office until 7 p.m. when you were moved to Bambadinka number 2. And in Bambadinka number 2, you explained the kind of torture that you went through that night, which is the drinking of the urine and being rolled on the floor, and being lacerated by the broken bottles that were on the floor. You also talked about the melting plastic that was being dropped on your body. Tell us now what happened the next day. That would be your second day of detention at the NIA premises. What happened on that day?
I was kept there, and from time to time somebody will come with 3 things. I cannot see them, but I can feel the type of material they are using on me. Electric cable, the punishment when electric cable is used is very severe. A pipe with hole in it, the sound becomes bigger, but the pain is not as pain as the electric cable. And the police stick that they use is also very hard. The pain is as hard as the electric cable. So that was the order of the day. Somebody will come, or two or three will come, do what they want to do on you, they will go. They have their own timetable.
Can you explain what that meant to you? Do what they wanted to do with you? What did that entail?
What I mean is, they will come, they have their own program to do on you, that is, to beat you. They know the pain that they want you to sustain. When they go, other group will come. So this was continuous. So we are just there waiting to be beaten up.
So day one, you were not allowed to drink any water. Instead, you were forced to drink urine. Were you given any food?
No food. No food. You don't think of food. They will never give you food. Never.
Day three, what happened? Tell us what happened on day three.
Day three, I was still in that place, very hungry, very thirsty, and very helpless. Somebody was in that area. I think he works for the NIA. And he told me, I told him, I'm sick. Can you help me with medication? He said that, well, that is going to be dangerous for me, but I will try. He brought me 2 paracetamol tablets and a cup of water. He asked me to open my mouth, put it there, and I started to drink. He was lucky that he was not found, but the cup fell, and they had suspicion that somebody is helping me here. And I was praying to God, let him not be known. When I was released from jail, I went back to the NIA to find out who this person was. And he happened to be Abdurrahman Jallo.
You eventually found out who he was?
Yes. His name was Abdurrahman Jallo, very helpful. And he was still alive and working for this organization.
So, day three, what else happened to you on that day?
I can't recall.
In the mornings of the period you spent there, did anything happen to you during the morning, early morning hours?
Every day, in the mornings, you are tortured with beatings and kicks. That was routine.
Did they allow you shower at this time?
No, no shower. No shower. I did not have shower for the time I was detained at the NIA. There was no shower at all, and no water at all.
They did not bring any water to you?
No, they did not.
How about the fourth day? You said you were there for 5 or 6 days. So did anything happen on the fourth day that you can remember?
No, I can't remember now.
Tell us whether the second, third, fourth, and fifth day were different. Because you told us that the first day you were tortured, second day you were tortured. How about the third, fourth, and fifth day? Were you also tortured during those days?
When they have time to release me or to transfer me to a other location, the torturing decreases, but it still continues. So the beatings, the kickings, lack of water, the pain continues throughout till the time I was transferred to go to police station.
You told us that on the second day, they would splash cold water on you to remove the blood from your body. How many times did they have to do that?
Every night or early in the morning, When cold water is available, that is going to be your morning sore. That's the cold water they will use to wash the body on your, to wash the blood from your body. That is what they will use.
Can you tell us how that was done?
While you are being rolled on those glasses or bottles, they will come while your hands are tied, just like a ball. They will put that water on you till they are satisfied.
Was that ever done on you?
Yes. They did it to me 3 times.
Thank you very much. So tell us what happened to you after the 5th day.
After the 5th day, 2 people came at the Bambadinka and told me I am to be transferred to a different location. I thought I was to be released, but that was the opposite. Instead, I was to be transferred to Kotu police station for further interrogation and beatings.
At this stage, did the NIA officer succeed to take a statement from you?
No, I did not take any statement from the NIA.
Did they make a lawyer available to you?
No, they did not. No lawyer was available for me.
You said you had injuries all over your body. Did they take you to a doctor?
No, I was just near the hospital, but nobody took me there, and I needed it most.
Did they bring a doctor to come and see you?
No, they did not. Nobody came to see me from the medical field.
So now they said they were to transfer you. Can you explain how that happened?
One evening, 4 people came to where I was and told me that, well, you are going to be removed from here now. So I thought that I was going to be released. I was a bit happy, but unable to walk. So they came. Only one of them spoke to me. The other ones did not speak. So they removed all the tying on my legs and on my feet. They asked me to get up. I couldn't get up. I tried, I fell. I tried 3 times, I couldn't stand. So 2 of them came. One was here, left and right, lifted me up. I couldn't make it. They went down and brought, I think he's a personnel who works for the medical field, and trying to squeeze and hit my legs, my joints, to be able to make me walk for a period of time. They were successful in bringing me down, where the truck was parked, waiting for me.
What type of truck was this?
This was a trash truck, because half of the truck was full with trash.
You mean a garbage truck?
A garbage, yes, garbage truck, yes. So when they brought me to where the truck was, I found 2 people in the trash truck. When they brought me near, those at the top were working for the NIA as well. Those are the people who helped them to put me in that garbage truck for the police station.
Tell us in which compartment of the truck were you placed? In the garbage compartment or the passenger compartment?
I was placed at the garbage place. I was with the garbage. But 2 of those officers were at the back of the truck. There were no baggage.
Is it your testimony that you were placed within or inside where the garbage actually was?
I was put in the place where the garbage was. Because if you don't know, you cannot recognize me and the garbage. Unless you are told, you wouldn't know. But I was inside the garbage.
At this time, did your injuries heal?
They are getting more and more painful. Blood was coming more. I suffered more. I was half alive, half confused.
Did you ask to be taken to a doctor?
I did ask. I told him my pain is getting serious. I can feel that I'm getting weaker and weaker. I need water. I need food. I feel that I'm getting dehydrated. And the consequences is going to be serious. But deaf ears was the answer.
Did they say anything to you?
They told me we cannot help you. We don't have orders to grant your request.
Did they say anything about your injuries?
They told us that right now you are going to be kept till these injuries get better. But we cannot take you to the hospital. You have to be in confinement till they get better.
Do you know why they said that to you? That your injuries must heal first? Do you know why they said that?
Yeah, this is a personal opinion. I think that was said because they wanted to keep my injuries from the public to know.
They wanted to conceal their crime.
Yes, exactly.
So from the NIA headquarters, where did they take you?
They took me to Bakote, not Bakote, Kairaba police, no, Kairaba, Kotu police station. That's where they took me.
Can you tell us what happened when you arrived at Kotu police station?
When I reached at Kotu police station, I found other NIA officers. They opened the door, they brought me down. Walking was difficult. I was limping. When I was left alone, I couldn't stand properly. They tried to take me inside and then put me into one cell. That's where I was. That's my new home.
When you arrived at Kotu police station, did you see any people there who you recognized or who you know?
The people I saw at the Kotu police station are the same people. Fode Bari, Baba Saho, Tadaba, and Musa Kinte.
By Tadaba, you mean Tadaba Marena?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. And do you know what they were doing there?
I think they were trying to facilitate my coming. That's why they were there. And to tell those police officers that I should be incommunicado. So nobody can talk to me. And that was exactly what they said.
At this stage, 5 or 6 days at NIA headquarters in Banjul, now you are brought to Kotu police station. Did you have any chance to speak to any member of your family?
My family didn't know where I was.
At Kotu police station, you said you were put in a cell and you were to be incommunicado. Were you in the cell with any person?
I was the only one in that cell. I was the only one, smelling terribly.
So you suggesting that the cell was empty when you were placed there. Is that the case?
When I came, there were people, but they were removed from the cell because I was standing, waiting for the cell to be empty. They transferred them to another cell, and then they took me to that one, and there was nobody.
You told us that you went to the NIA headquarters without shoes. At this stage, did you have any shoes?
No, I did not see issue. I started seeing issue when I was transferred to the Fajara Army Barracks. That's the way. That's the place I was given chance to put on a pair of shoes.
At the Kotu police station, were you given any food?
I was not. I was not given any food.
How about water?
Yes, I was giving water. I was giving water.
Do you recall for how long you were at the Kotu police station?
I think 3 to 4 days. 3 to 4 days.
During the period that you were there, did anything significant happen?
Yes, I can remember when I was there, the second day at night, around 2:30 a.m., I can remember I had Fode Bari, Musa Kinti again, Tadeba Marena, and Baba Saho, they came to the police station, seeking me to be removed, to take me out of the police station. But the officer in charge at that time, the police officer in charge, said, I got instructions from my OC that this man should not be removed from here unless you bring us document. They said, okay. So they went down, they wrote with pen on a paper. They brought to him, he said that no, this paper is not official. I cannot accept this. This man will not be removed from here unless you give me authentic document from the government. Otherwise, he cannot be removed from here. That is the instructions I have from my OC. He was Mr. Gomez.
Mr. what?
Mr. Gomez. He was Gomez. The last name was Gomez. I remember that.
And he was a police officer?
Yes, he was the man in charge of the Kotu police station at that time. He refused.
Were you eventually removed from that place or not?
Say again?
Did the NIA officers eventually succeed in removing you from that place or not?
They did not. They did not. Till in the morning.
What happened to you after that?
After that, so many officers came. So many NIA officers came. But I was not removed from there until the time when they got the document that they wanted, that they are transferring me now. Now I knew from there that I am going to Fajara Army Barracks.
Do you recall the date or the day you were transferred to Fajara Barracks?
I can't remember the day, but the time I can.
Tell us the time, please.
I reached at the Fajara Barracks by 4 p.m.
Do you recall which officers took you to Fajara Barracks?
I remember Marena, Fodi, Bari, Tadaba Marena, and Musa Kinte, and other people.
This time around, do you know where Baba Saha was?
Baba Saha was in the truck, in the pickup truck that took me to Fajara Barracks.
Tell us what happened at Fajara Barracks when you arrived there.
From Kotu police station, I was ferried to the Fajara Barracks. When they put me down at the door of my new home, I was unable to stand. I cannot stand at that time. So 6 of them, I think, took me up and dropped me at the door, where I fell.
At this stage, did the NIA officers know your name?
Well, some were calling me Samba Jallo. Others were calling me Bak Samba Jallo.
Did you have a conversation with any of these officers regarding your real name?
Yes, and that was Marena.
Can you tell us what happened?
Marina told me what's her name. I told him my name is Bach Samba Jallo. He told me, no, that's not your name. I told him this is the name at birth. There's no other name that I have other than this one. He told me, no, your name is Bach Jallo. I told him, no, I'm not. There was a bitter argument, and I will receive slaps for saying no to them. So,
is it your testimony that they believed that your name was Bach Jallo instead of Bach Samba Jallo?
yes. But Marina was the man who was trying to force me to say that my name was Bach Jallo. I told him, my name is Bach Samba Jallo. All those who know me know that that's my name. Because there are a million Bach Jallos in this country, especially in the Fula tribe. So that's my name. Even when I was in your home, in your village, that's what they call me. So that's my name. Don't give me a name that doesn't belong to me.
And all this happened at NIA headquarters?
Yes.
So now tell us the events that occurred while you were at Fajara Barracks. Tell us exactly where you were taken at Fajara Barracks.
When I was taken to the Fajara Barracks with the pain I sustained, and that they dropped me at the door, those inmates helped me and sat me on a box. I opened my eyes, trying to see the people in that place. The first person I saw was Omar Jallo, and that's OJ. And I saw that his eye was bleeding. I saw Alaji Morikeba Sedikan, who was limping. I saw Senifai, who was also in a serious condition. I saw Ismaila Jawara, who was almost dead on the floor. I saw Yaya Dabo, who was lying on his back, scratches all over the body. So many other people. So many other people.
Do you know what had happened to these people? You have described various types of injuries. Do you subsequently know what had happened to these people?
When I got into the store, because they were in a store, I saw a lot of sticks and a lot of pipes. So I presume they were tortured. And the people, the torturers, left just before I came. And they told me that they were here. And this is what they have done to us.
How many people did you find there?
All, me included, 72. 72 people.
Apart from the people you have named, are there other prominent people who you recognized at that stage?
Yes. MC Cham was there. OJ was there. Usainu Njai was there. Musa Fasise was there.
Which Usainu Njai are you referring to?
This is Usainu Njai.
What work did he do in his, what work did he do in the Gambia? That's Usainu Njai, if you could tell us.
Usainu was an MP during Jawara's time, and he was also the commercial manager of the Commercial Bank Limited.
Apart from Usainu Njai, banker, who else did you see there?
Usainu Dabo was also there.
Which Usainu Dabo are you referring to?
The current vice president of the Gambia.
Did he also exhibit symptoms of torture?
No.
Who else did you see?
Those are the people I can recall now.
At this stage, were you told what were the reasons for your detention?
Up till now, I'm not told. Up till now, I'm not told.
Can you describe this store, this place you called a store where you were detained? Could you describe the place?
This is a two-phase store, that is half concrete, half corrugated. This was an old store where trucks were repaired at the depot, at the Fajar Army Barracks, converted to accommodate prisoners of war.
In this location where you were detained, were there any women at the time?
Yes, that day there were 3 women. Mama Jaura, Mama Maria Masisi, I think, and the Koso Taylor. But later, these 3 were transferred to Banjul office.
As far as you know, is there anything in common among these people? Did they have anything in common?
You mean the detainees? Yes. They were very sad. They looked very sad and looked very angry. They felt they were accused, their rights were violated, they did not do wrong, but they have no power. All of us can tell you that. You can see it. They will tell you.
Did they all belong to one particular group, if you know?
Some told me they have different political parties. Others belong to the NCP, others belong to the PPP, others doesn't belong to any party. And they are not even Gambians.
Did you belong to any political party at the time?
I have interest, I have sympathy for the PPP, and I share their opinion.
Did you belong to the PPP at the time?
At the time, no.
Were you publicly and openly supporting the PPP at the time?
I don't support the party, but I support those in head in the party.
So can you describe the conditions of this shed, or what you describe as this, is it a warehouse, or can you describe the place where you were kept? Tell us more about the conditions in there.
The conditions in this shed is terrible. There's no window, no ventilation. That's where we are. And in fact, if you open the door, at night, it's locked with keys. So we will be in that shed. If you want to urine, if you want to urinate, you will have to look for a place where you can do it. Don't talk of going to the restroom, you can't. It's a difficult condition. We were there for 14 months.
What would you lie on during that 14-month period? A bed, I mean.
You mean the bed? It's a concrete floor. We have no bed sheet. We have no beds. You have nothing. So what you do, you use your palm to be your pillow. That's how we stay there. In that condition until International Red Cross from Geneva visited us.
That's a very important point, the visit by the Geneva-based ICRC. But I want to first of all establish what the conditions were before the ICRC visited. Can you further describe these conditions?
The conditions are terrible. There is no bed. What we had was nothing on the floor. It's a concrete floor. It was a garage. It used to be for trucks to be repaired. That's the garage we were put into. And when we were brought, there was no bed seat, nothing whatsoever. If you are lucky to get a curtain to place on the floor, you are lucky. But most of them, we are using empty floor. There was nothing to use. We are living in that condition. And if you want to go to the toilet, the soldiers, the guards will help you to go and pee just near the stove. That's where we are kept for this number of days.
Were you allowed shower?
Since we were detained, we did not get shower for 32 days. No shower. Until every joint of your body had concrete tar. You cannot use it anymore at the hand, your hand. This joint so stick that you cannot move it because it was all stick together. You couldn't have bath. We don't take bath for 32 days.
How about the food? Tell us about the food.
We were not getting food until one day the Fajara army officer told us that we will get food from that day, from their own ration. So we are giving 18 people to a basin and 1 gallon of water for the day. That is how we are able fed. 18 people to a basin and 1 gallon of water for that basin. That is how we...
Can you kindly indicate by using your hands the size of the basin?
Oh, the basin is just like that.
Just for 18 people?
Because 18. Because when the food comes, if you are not quick or fast, you cannot have it. You cannot have it. If you don't have food, Usainu Njai will then buy us peanuts to chew. But there was nothing else.
At this stage, at Fajara Barracks, were you allowed lawyers?
No. The lawyers fought hard for them to come and visit us. They did that. I think only one person was able to get into the camp, and that was Sam George. He was the only person who was successful to come and see his clients, and that was Mama Jawara.
At this stage, was it before or after the visit of the ICRC?
Before. Before.
Did your conditions, you said you were not allowed to shower.
No.
72 of you lived in this shed.
Yes.
There was no ventilation.
Yes.
Could you tell us about the stench, the smell of that place at this time?
The smell in that shed was terrible. One day, 2 things happened. Owls or vultures came to eat us at the camp. Vultures came to eat us. The soldiers came and fired shots to protect us that day, because there were many.
Why did you believe the vultures came to eat you?
If you know the Fajara Army Barracks, at the gate, that's where you know that terrible smell is ahead, and that's where we were staying. The smell was just too much for human beings, and the soldiers fired them to be away from us. That's one thing. The second thing, we were in that condition until one day at night, by 2:00 a.m., maggots came to invade the premises. because I think those insects also thought that we are dead, so they have come to eat us. That was terrible. That was terrible. They came into that place because there were old remains of people. So I think they ate all those remains and now they are looking for more. And that was us.
Can you explain this a little more clearly to us? What do you mean by there were these remains which they ate and they later came for us? Could you explain more clearly?
When I came to Fajara Barracks, at the place where we were kept, there's a big machine nearby. And on that machine, there were a lot of, how to call it, big pieces of cloth, what we call parlas. These parlas, those maggots were coming from them. They must have been used to keep people. To keep people.
People,
Yes.
People who were alive or?
People who were killed. People who were dead.
No, from what?
I don't know from what source. But obviously, it's people that were kept into those parlas because you can see the blood stains on them.
What month of the year was this?
This was October going to November.
1995.
Yes.
So you think that those tarpaulins were used to cover or carry dead bodies?
Yes.
That's what you mean?
Yes.
And the maggots were coming from there?
Yes.
And those maggots invaded where you were kept?
Exactly.
And you believe that they were attracted to your location by the stench?
Yes.
That was coming out of that place?
Yes.
And your suggestion is that because you people didn't have shower for over 30 days?
Yes.
72 of you?
Definitely.
Thank you very much. So tell us, do you recall when the ICRC visited?
I was present. They came, the first time they were not allowed, but United Nations and the Geneva office insisted that they have to see us individually. They cannot use us, they cannot see us in group. Otherwise, Gambia was to face some problems, and they agreed. It was then they came to see us. We were seen individually. So we were interviewed. We told them how we felt. They were giving certificates. And then they told us that we are going to see a difference. And we did see.
What difference did you see?
We were given sponges where we can sleep. Our family members can now give us food. We can now go and take bath once a day. We can now use the tree outside as our toothbrushes. And we can now go to the hospital when we are in need. And the medic at the depot can come and see anybody who was sick. That was the difference, but that was great.
How about access to a lawyer?
We never got one. Because we were going to court. At the first time, I was charged sedition, but it did not continue. My charges were changed by Fatou Bensouda to treason. 6 of us were charged treason. So I think the prosecution did not get enough evidence to continue their cases. So eventually, all cases were dropped, but we are still there.
Do you have any document to show that you were charged?
Yes.
Can you produce it to the
I have
commission?
this here.
Hold a second. The court usher would take the document and bring it to us. I am sorry, Mr. Chairman, for saying court usher. I mean the commission usher.
Counsel, would you want to continue while we examine the document?
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
Thank
At
you.
the end, I would like to have the document with me such that I could ask a few other questions based on the document.
Absolutely.
But
Choice
in the
is yours.
meantime, I can proceed.
Thank you.
So, Mr. Witness, you were taken to court and you said that the initial charge was sedition, correct?
Yes.
Was this the charge that you faced throughout the period, or was it ultimately changed?
It was changed
To what?
to treason.
And did you have a chance to get a lawyer during this process?
No. Up till today, no.
So you were never represented by a lawyer?
No, never.
How about the other individuals who you were charged with?
Nobody was able to get a lawyer because they were not willing. Very few lawyers were able to help because it was not easy. It was really difficult. It wasn't easy.
Do you know a person called Mr. Sirif Tambedu?
Yes,
Did he have anything to do with this case?
yes.
Could you tell us about it?
Sheriff Tambedu is one of those people who were willing to help us, paid or not, because he felt that the pain was too much and he couldn't get enough people to come and represent us.
That was honorable of Mr. Tambedu. So would you say, therefore, that Mr. Tambedu represented some of you?
Yes, he did.
So he became a lawyer for some of you?
Yes.
And what happened to the case at the end of the day?
After so many proceedings, the prosecution knew that they have no case to continue.
Do you know what was the main basis for the charge?
The charge was we organized demonstration.
For or against what?
They said we organized demonstration against the government
Whose government was that?
of Yaya Jammeh.
Do you know, according to the allegations, where that demonstration was to be held?
At the U.S. Embassy in Gambia.
Were you involved in planning such demonstration?
I did not go to the demonstration, but I was constant contact with people around Combo here who were not satisfied with the way things were going.
Were you a party to the organization of the demonstration?
No, because I was busy at school.
Did you have any plan to attend the demonstration?
No, because the day of the demonstration, I was supposed to go to the UNICEF office for my school furniture.
Did you have anything at all, anything to do with this demonstration? Did you have anything, no matter how small it was, did you have anything to do with this demonstration?
Yes.
What?
I know some of the people that were on that list. I know them. Even before anything. Some of them, they are my life friends. So I know them very well.
But apart from knowing some of the people who were arrested, did you have anything to do with the demonstration?
No.
So how would you characterize your arrest and detention?
My arrest was based on my facts, 2 reasons. If you remember what I told you at the beginning, the APRC acceptance to work for them, and 2, to know, because I was definitely a critic of this president. I was not happy with the way things were going in this country, and I voiced it out.
So in a sense, you are saying it's in fact your refusal
Yes.
to become an APRC candidate.
Yes.
And the criticisms that you level against the government,
Yes.
and those were the reasons for your arrest, right?
Yes, definitely.
Was that indicated in the charge or not?
No.
I have a copy of the document you provided.
Mm-hmm.
It reads in the Kanifing Magistrates Court, it's Inspector General of Police versus Alaji Jobate Mane, Bach Samba Jallo, and a host of other people.
Yes.
That's the case you were referring to?
Yes.
Mr. Chairman, we would ask that the document, that is the charge sheet, together with the attachments, be admitted be added to the record. Perhaps maybe we should separate the documents. We would have the charge sheet as one document, and then there is Observer newspaper dated Tuesday, December 12, 1995, under the headline, "We still don't have access to our lawyers," and that should be also included in the record. And there is another document which says charged with treason. Perhaps for that we would seek to get the full version of the Observer newspaper so that we can get the date and details of the document. But in any case, after the lunch break, we would ask that this set of documents, these 3 different documents, be added in the record, and then we would provide the exhibit numbers. In the meantime, if you agree, I can proceed my questioning on this document on the understanding that they would be included in the record.
Request granted. Council, can you just clarify the first 2 pages of the document containing the list? I believe the second page also has some names there. If not, is that part being excluded from submission?
Mr. Chair, could you ask your question again? I was busy looking at something else.
The first 2 pages, I think it's got a list of individuals mentioned. Do you want that to be part of what should be part of the record, or what?
Yes, I want all the documents to be part of the record, but they should be separated into 3 different documents. The first document is the charge sheet, or basically the indictment, which was laid against the accused persons, Bach Samba and others. And the 2 other documents are the photocopies of Daily Observer newspapers. So they should be treated as 3 separate documents, even though they came as one bundle. Perhaps maybe we would give an exhibit number. Say, I think it should be Exhibit 11, Exhibit 11A, and Exhibit 11B. But we would do that later. We would assign the numbers later, if you permit. But in the meantime, I just wish to be permitted to ask questions based on what is contained in this document.
Thank you very much. On that understanding, your request is granted.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Jallo, kindly confirm whether this is correct. You were charged in this indictment by the Inspector General of Police, correct?
Yes.
And you were charged together with these following people. Correct me if I'm wrong, I'm going to read out the names, right?
Yes.
The first is Alhaji Jobate Mane.
Yes.
Bach Samba Jallo.
Yes.
Seni Fai.
Yes.
Fatumata Jawara.
Yes.
Ismaila Jawara.
Yes.
Bakari Kamara.
Yes.
Mama Jawara.
Yes.
Sara Nijata.
No.
Okay, the list has Sara Nijata, but
yes.
Okay. Adama Sise.
Yes.
Alaji Mori Keba Sedikan.
Yes.
Fansu Jawara.
Yes.
Yaya Dabo.
Yes.
Modu Kebe.
Yes.
Fatu Sise.
Yes.
Fode Sise, excuse me. Ibrahima Sonko.
Yes.
Mustafa Diba.
Yes.
Buna Kebe.
Yes.
Dabo Koli.
Yes.
Omar Ba.
Yes.
Kosotelo.
Yes.
Langhawa Sonko.
Yes.
Malamin Sonko.
Yes.
Lading Kamara.
Yes.
Keba Tunkara.
Yes.
Mustafa Sise.
Yes.
Lamin Kanaji.
Yes.
Bakari Marong.
Yes.
These were the names.
Yes.
And the charge is that on 12 October 1995 at American Embassy along Kairaba Avenue, you had a demonstration with a seditious intent. No, it says with a seditious intention, you attempted to stage a demonstration. That was count 1, correct?
Yes.
And count 2 was a conspiracy to do an act with seditious intention, correct?
Yes.
Did you know these people before?
No.
You never met them before you went to before they took you into detention?
I know some of them, because some of them are my colleagues. They are teachers like myself.
Let me just draw your attention to something that I found on the paper. You told us that Fatou Bensouda changed the charge to treason. I just want to draw your attention to something in the paper. And it says that the state prosecutor, Fatou Bensouda, who is Deputy Director of Public Prosecutions, informed the court that she had already told the relevant authorities that the accused persons should be allowed access to their lawyers. Do you remember that?
That's fake.
That's what the newspaper said, that Mrs. Fatou Bensouda asked that you be allowed access to lawyers.
We never saw them. In fact, the lawyers themselves claimed that. Some of them were willing to come, but they were not given permission to enter the Fajara barracks. Only Sam George was able to come to depot. Only Sam George. Sheriff Bensouda never come. They were denied. So if she said that, that's fake.
Okay. I would move on to when you were released. Do you recall whether which other court you appeared before? Was it only Kanifing Magistrates Court or you appeared before some other court?
We did not get to Banjul. We did not get to the High Court because I think they realized that they cannot get any grounds because there was no evidence. So we never go to any other court.
Who was the prosecutor of this case?
Fatou Bensouda. He was the mastermind.
She was the prosecutor.
Yes. She was the mastermind of everything that we went on through.
You would agree that Mrs. Fatou Bensouda, if she was the prosecutor at all, would have come at the tail end of things, at the prosecution stage of things, and therefore would not have participated in anything that happened before your prosecution, correct?
No, I don't agree.
All right, Mr. Jallo, we would proceed, and charges against you were eventually dropped. Is
Yes.
that what you said?
Yes.
Do you know what circumstances led to the dropping of these charges?
Nobody knew except Fatou Bensouda and Yaya Jammeh.
Before you were released, did any dignitaries visit the Gambia?
Yes.
As far as you know?
Yes.
Could you tell us?
The UN representatives came to the Gambia. EEC representatives came to the Gambia. The American and the British ambassadors all came to the Gambia. And the Senegalese president also came to the Gambia. All these people were contacted for our release.
Do you know whether these efforts had any impact on your case at all?
They did. They did.
And what impact?
Because we were very free now. At the camp, we can get our own food from our homes. We cannot have, family visits. We don't have that. But we were really relaxed. We can have our morning exercises at the Fajara Army Barracks. We can have games. We can play soccer, football, basketball, whatever we want. We were really relaxed a bit. And all is due to these people that I've just enumerated to you.
Do you know whether those efforts also contributed to your release?
Yes, they did.
How many of you were released together, if you know?
We were all not released once. I think we were released 3 times. But I was released the first group. Myself, OJ, MC, and the others. I think that was the highest group.
What happened to you after your release?
After my release, I was told not to stand in the street with more than 2 people. Do not discuss politics. Do not go to offices for any reason. And let me not mention politics to anybody, because I am being watched.
How about your job? Did anything happen to your job?
I was dismissed from my job when I was arrested. That's the dismissal letter.
Could you send it over for us to see? When you were dismissed from the service, did you get any of your dues, gratuity, WOPs, and all these other things?
No.
Did you subsequently challenge your dismissal?
I went to the PMO. They even cannot entertain my questions. Instead, the secretary asked me out. His secretary asked me out.
Did you continue to remain in the Gambia after this?
No. After my dismissal? No. I was in the US.
How did you get to the US?
When they discharged me, I smuggled myself to Senegal. I went to my village, go to Kaur, take a horse cart to Nganda. That took me to Kaulach, where I was helped by the UN staff to Dakar, where I was asked to report.
Who asked you to report there?
The UN representative in Senegal. That's how I got to Dakar.
Did you talk to anybody in Gambia about going to Dakar?
Yes, I did. I spoke to the British High Commissioner. I spoke to the US ambassador. I spoke to the German ambassador to be able to go, but the only positive response was from the British ambassador at the time.
What did the ambassador say to you?
He told me that the best place to go is Senegal. There you have organizations that can help you and ferry your way to the US. And that was exactly what they did.
And under which status did you go to the US?
I went to the US as an asylum seeker, approved asylum, and I went there through the American Resettlement Program under Section 151 that took me to the US.
And you told us you sustained injuries during your torture here by the NIA. When you went to the US, did you look into that particular issue?
That was the first thing they looked for. That was the first thing. They took me to the International Refugee Center in Arlington, Virginia, where every part of my body was examined, and they found a lot of problems for me. So, admitted in a hospital for 3 months. Eventually, some of my fingers were coming up. I can now walk straight. The time when I was released, I cannot see you clearly. If I see you, you are upside down. Your face down, legs up. That's how I went to the US. But my people didn't know I was trying to hide it, you know. I cannot see well. I cannot walk straight. I was in this condition until I got to the US, where I got this assistance, and they took care of me.
And how about your finger? What happened to it?
When I went there, this finger, I went to the hospital. They took out the piece that was broken, and then they fixed another, just like bone in it. But they told me it is not going to be live like the other one, but it will be a normal, it will be a finger, looks like a finger, but it's not a finger actually. That is why even if you pinch on it, I cannot feel it, but I can move it.
How about your toenails?
Oh, they told me if they want to fix this, just let's forget about this. We will make sure that the bones the veins, they will take care of the entire feet, and nothing will happen. And exactly that's what happened. But there are no nails.
You mean there are no toenails?
Yes, there are no toenails, no.
You passed a document to us, which you said is your letter of dismissal. And looking at the document, it's Republic of the Gambia. It's from the Personnel Management Office addressed to you, correct?
Yes.
And it's dated 6 November 1995.
Yes.
And it says dismissal.
Yes.
Let me read out the content of the letter and you'll confirm whether that is true. It says, Dear Sir, dismissal underlined. It says, I hereby inform you that approval has been given by the Public Service Commission to dismiss you from the service with immediate effect following your involvement in the abortive demonstration by members of the banned People's Progressive Party. Yours sincerely, Therese Drame, Mrs. Permanent Secretary. That's the letter you were talking about?
Yes.
Mr. Chairman, after the lunch break, we would ask that this letter be admitted or included in the record. Mr. Chairman, it's now break period, 1:30. I suggest that we come back at 2:30 and we do 30 minutes with this witness before the next witness would be sworn in to testify. During that 30 minutes, I'll end my questioning now, and during the 30 minutes, the witness would be allowed to make a short statement, and then the commissioners may also ask questions if they wish.
Thank you so much, Counsel.
Mr. Chair, it's been suggested by the Executive Secretary that perhaps it would be neater to just finish with this witness, go for the break, and then come back. If the Chair wishes us to proceed in that manner, I'll be more than obliged.
Is the witness agreeable to that, if we continue for another 30 minutes and wind up now?
Yes, give me 5 to 10 minutes. Let me go to the restroom.
You deserve that, please. Yeah.
Thank you.
So if you can just do that, and then we will continue and then finish with the witness. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I would end here my questioning of the witness. Thank you, Mr. Jallo, for answering all my questions. I would now ask that the charge sheet of the case IGP versus Alaji Jobate Mane and others be added in the record as Exhibit 11, and Daily Observer dated 12 December 1995 be added in the record as Exhibit 11A, and Daily Observer volume number 4, number 73 be added as Exhibit 11B, and letter from PMO addressed to Mr. Bachsamba Jallo of 6 November 1995 be added as Exhibit 12. And with that, I hand over to the chairman.
Thank you very much. Request granted. Shall we continue with questions now? Is there
Yes,
floor?
you may proceed to ask your questions,
Thank you very much.
or may allow the witness to say whatever he wants to say before you ask questions. I would want him to include in his statement the impact that his experience at the NIA headquarters and at Fajara Barracks and the trial, the impact that had on him and his family. I'd want him to address that in his statement. Thank you.
Thank you very much, my friend. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Chairman, I am indeed very grateful to this body, a body that I see it as the follows: to clean up my tears, to bring my life back, to give me comfort and security as I live in this country. As I look around this office, I see faces that made me to be what I am today. I have been a teacher for 40-something years, both in the Gambia and outside Gambia. The people I'm seeing here, I think I have to name a few for the purpose of proper accountability, because they work hard during my young age. First of all, Mr. Usainu Jallo. The second one is Mrs. Adelaide Sose. These two made my life to what it is today, and I thank you very much. Secondly, the people who are assigned to this exercise, may I thank you all for doing work that I never expected. I never thought I will sit here, express my opinion to you. But frankly speaking, I'm grateful. I'm grateful to Baba Galle Jallo. I'm grateful to Mr. Fall. I'm grateful to Alaji Baro. Very effective, honest helpers who talks to me every time of the day to be able to produce results. Gambians should know that Gambia is ours. We should not tolerate such a thing to continue in this world. That is why it's so unique. This office should be and is here to stay. The past 20 years has created, destroyed many people who were very sincere, very good, very effective, very helpful to this nation, and they are all gone, including my own people, including my own brothers. I cannot see them now because they're already gone. They were the victims of this regime, the last regime. My experience at the NIA told me a lot of things that I never knew. I never knew a human being, a Gambian, can behave in such a way to a fellow Gambian. If I was not within, I would have told you, no, nobody can do that. But I saw it with my eyes and my own experience. So it is our duty for every Gambian to refuse what happened the last 20 years. We should refuse that. We should work hard day and night to stop it. We have to support this organization, TRRC, to make sure that they continue their hard work. I bless you all. May God bless you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Jallo. We should be the ones to appreciate your agreement to appear before the Commission here. Your testimony was not intended to make you revisit those very difficult experiences, the awful treatment that you endured during your detention. But your appearance here today goes to the heart of what the National Assembly has made the mandate of this commission. If you don't mind, I will read that portion. I'll go a bit slowly for the interpreters to get it. The Assembly in section 13 made it an objective, or these are the objectives of this commission. Create an impartial historical record of violations and abuses of human rights from July 1994 to January 2017 in order to, 1, promote healing and reconciliation. 2, respond to the needs of the victims. 3, address impunity. And 4, prevent a repeat of the violations and abuses suffered by making recommendations for the establishment of appropriate preventive mechanisms, including institutional and legal reforms. B, establish and make known the fate or whereabouts of the disappeared victims. C, provide victims an opportunity to relate their own accounts of the violations and abuses suffered, which you did splendidly today, Mr. Jallo. And D, grant reparations to victims in appropriate cases. We owe you a lot. We thank you a whole lot for agreeing to come and help us fulfill this mandate that the National Assembly has given to the TRRC. I don't have any further questions to ask you. You just have my sympathy with what you had gone through. That should not have happened at all. If any members of the Commission have questions, I would now turn to you all and see if there are any. Yes, Bishop, please go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, Commissioner Bishop James Odiko. Mr. Samba Bach Jallo, during your narration of your ordeal, from the day of your arrest from your house, right up to the day that you were taken to Pt2 police station, you mentioned about 5 or 6 days at the NIA and about 3 or 4 days at the Pt2 police station without food. That's about 10 days. Is it right to say that you were subject to no food for 10 good days?
Yes. Yes.
Thank you. Commissioner Kinte.
Commissioner Kinte, I'm sure during the period you were in all the 3 places, your family must have undergone some psychological trauma and some lack that you may have wanted to surface, in particular, that you have felt. Like, how did the children feel, or has any one of them been affected along the line of their education, or the family been denied of what you were providing for them because you are a breadwinner? What specific do you think you would have put pointer on as something you had felt and we want to show?
2 things worried me most. When I was arrested, my children and my wife and my people at Nyamina, because I am one of those, we are 5 in Nyamina, full youths, because education is new to us. We are shepherds. We don't know school. It is now that we are beginning to go to school. So they were very worried when they learned of my arrest. It was very difficult. I thank all people in Nyamina, educated and illiterate. I suffered a lot, and my family suffered the most because I was not around them. And I thank my wife, who refused the government of Yahya Jammeh to take my compound away from me for not paying the 1 year arrears which she paid for me. The second thing, my mother fell down. The day she was told, your son is charged treason, an illiterate who cannot read nothing. She was told that he will be killed because of the information she had from the radio. I think those at the radio stations should be able to know how to talk to people who cannot read and write. Because of that announcement, she fell down and broke her leg. And that killed her. It has been a difficulty, Mr. Kinte. But I thank Gambian people, sincere, good, honest Gambian people. We should know what to love and what not to love, what to like and what not to like. It helps the others. Time is gone. And thank you all. Thanks.
Thank you very much, Mr. Jallo. We will take a 1 hour break and come back at 2:50 for the 3 o'clock. Okay, we come back at 3 o'clock. Thank you all very much. The meeting is adjourned.